Hello, everyone.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is for
Wherever
you.
you are.
Happy time, happy day.
Yeah.
Oh my god. We are bringing a wonderful topic today, our favorite, or at least my favorite.
Yes, mine
This
too.
topic is self love really selfish? And I feel like in nowadays, this is such a good topic. And, I really
For
feel we need to
sure.
prioritize our own life and self love. And we should not feel selfish for self love. Okay, but we will dive more into this topic in the
For sure.
next few minutes. So, what comes to your
Mhm.
mind, Nikki, about is self love really selfish?
I think the major thing that comes to my mind about this is that we feel more selfish than we really are because we are not used to be prioritizing ourselves. Like it's not a habit to practice self-love as much, and then when we are developing that habit for ourselves, it may feel selfish, but I don't feel it's selfishness really. It's just that we are trying something new, we don't know how it should feel, and then for a period of time it will feel selfish, but it's not really selfish, in my opinion. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I feel self love is never selfish. And, my go to pattern when I do something self loving sometimes is that I start having feelings of shame, like, oh, I should have helped all those people who suffer, and I shouldn't put myself first, and I shouldn't say no, I shouldn't, I hurt people. But, like, I remind myself all the time, like, I'm doing this for myself. This is like showing love to myself, and this is the most important. And when I'm happy, when I give myself self-love, I will reflect it to others and they will benefit out of it too. So self-love is never selfish. And yeah, I would like to discuss like how it is with helping others, because I feel like this is where most of our women and our listeners might get stuck.
Mm-hmm.
So, how about imagine a scenario when like someone is asking you for help. For example, this person really needs your help, but you decided, okay, now this week I will prioritize my routine, my work, and I will say no to everything else. But there's this
Mm-hmm.
person coming and she says, I have to go to the hospital. Can you please help me with this? What would you do in such a case?
Ooh, a tough one. I think it's very
Yes.
tough because it's
I wanted
about
to
a
start with
health
something
of
tough.
other person. Ooh, yeah. I am not even sure I know how to respond. I would probably try to somehow balance it in a way.
Hmm.
I feel the better thing, or the better thing. Yeah, ideally, I would love to still prioritize myself and my needs because I know that when I give from a full cup, it's just so much better.
Hmm.
But in terms of health of other person, I'm not sure I'm there yet. So honoring where I am now, I would probably at least try to get a help of someone else or ask the person if they can ask multiple people, not just me, with the
Hmm.
help, and so the amount of time that I want to help them will be reduced
Hmm.
because it would be very, very easy but not beneficial to anyone where we would just try to help a lot of people at the same time and then completely forget ourselves. And then, like, where are we in it? Like, is our self less important than other people just because they
Yeah.
are
Just because we can
in a
manage our lives
hospital
and
or
I mean,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it really depends. Like, for example, if this person is used to ask you for help a lot, and she always makes some like reason why you should help him or her, then
Mm-hmm.
this is quite like you are teaching this person that you are always there available for them, and this is
Oh
not
yes,
good
I
for them
have this
either, because
explained. Yeah.
yeah, because they are not forced to find another help, for example hire a professional help or someone who will do this task. On the other hand, if this is not very common of this person that he or she asks for help, and you know it's like you really feel good doing it, you want to
Mm-hmm.
help, and I think you've mentioned an excellent point. You can ask, how can I help while still prioritizing myself? Either you can hire someone to come to help this person, or you can show up for a few, like maybe 1 to 2 hours, and then you can keep working on whatever you wanted to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you can like you don't have to show up for the whole thing that this person is
Mm-hmm.
asking you for, but maybe you can like show up for a bit to support this
Yeah.
person, but still it's like in your own boundaries and within your own desire. It's aligned with what you
Yes.
want to do.
Yes. There is 2 points maybe I want to mention. One would be that it's always up on us to decide how much we want to give at any moment, and it's like difficult to sometimes find inside what is the intuition telling us, but it's always good to at least try, because when you will give too much you will feel resentment towards the person. If you will give too less just because to set the boundaries, quote unquote, then you will feel bad. So it's always, and it's difficult, but it's possible when you are present enough to find like the balance for you. And then the second thing I wanted to mention, it was something about the guilt you mentioned.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And if
Bushi.
the other person is trying to guilt you into helping them, I think that's like a warning sign that
That's a manipulation.
yeah, I
It is
feel
a
like
manipulation.
we feel manipulations by, like, when we see that people are trying to guilt us to something, that's like a very huge sign of manipulation.
Yeah.
And I know for me personally, if somebody tries to guilt me into something or manipulate me into something, that's like a clear no. Like that's when I can actually set up the boundary very strongly, because I'm like,
Yeah.
no, nobody blackmails me.
No,
in
no.
these matters, I have like very very good boundaries.
Boundaries. Mhm.
But perfect point with the other example. If you know then that person usually never needs help, and they are really in a difficult situation, and you want to help them, then it's the time to help them. But for sure, I guarantee that that person, because they know they need help, they probably asked other people already, because they know that other people have lives and have other things to attend to, so they wouldn't pressure one person to do it. Whereas maybe a manipulator would just pick the one person that always helps them. I mean,
Mhm.
that would be my opinion on this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
but it's a
So
tough one.
I really want to mention like a no is a complete sentence. No is a complete sentence. Like you don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to say, "Oh, but I wanted to go for my hobby." If you want to say no, it's completely okay to like say no and um, do whatever you desire to do. It's okay to like say no to whatever, and you don't have to explain yourself. Like you don't have to give reasons why you cannot do it. No is
Mm-hmm.
a complete answer. And like you know we have these feelings of shame coming up, and we have these feelings of, oh, I have to explain to all these people, and like I feel like I'm perceived by others as a good person, and a good person with like a nice energy, and a nice person, and people often come to me for help, and they want to like hang out with me, and they want to like spend time with me. If I would say yes to everyone, I would be so depleted, and I just cannot. And so often I felt like, oh my god, but I'm like always hurting others, and I'm always saying no to others, and
Mm-hmm.
I rather have no friends, and like no boyfriends and no family so I don't hurt them by saying no. And I really needed to like fix this in my own head, like saying
Mm-hmm.
no is okay, and I am not here to do everything for everyone, and I still deserve to have live a nice life. And this doesn't mean that I'm a bad person if I say
Yeah,
no to
that's what
some
I want to
people.
say. You are still a good person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I perceive that if I say no to other people, then I'm a bad person. And yeah, this is so like so upside down, you know.
Yeah, sometimes it can be. And it takes some time. And depending, the way I feel about it, sometimes it's difficult with the people that are closest to you, but it's good to practice it on people that are not so close to you and start there, because I know to say no to a family member that really needs help might be more difficult to just say no to a person who you almost don't know. And
Mhm.
I maybe have a tip for people who still struggle to say no, because that's a real thing and we all have some struggles in somewhere with saying no, I believe so.
Yeah.
I feel like a good practice, if you cannot say no yet and you maybe feel like you should say no and you want to say no but it's difficult, try to phrase it a little bit differently. Try to ask for time, like, oh, sorry, now I cannot decide about this, I will let you know later.
Mhm.
And if you like insert time there between their asking and your response, you have the time to come to yourself and figure out first for yourself what amount of help you want to give and what amount of help you don't want to give. You can check in with yourself and you can check if you want to take care of them for the whole 7 days they have to be somewhere or for their things, or you can like do 2 days, or just find within yourself what is good for you, and then you can come back to with the answer. So
Yeah.
making them um, kind of wait for your answer, but not for them. You are not being mean to them. You are trying to get time and space for you to figure out what you want to do.
Mhm.
I would say
Absolutely.
like that's a good practice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so often we have this tendency to like I have to give an answer immediately. But
Mm-hmm.
these maybe the people they are okay with like you answering, okay, let me think about it. I will get back to you tomorrow or in 2 days and I will tell you what what I what my answer is. And this is
Yeah, that
enough.
was yeah, that
And
was
yeah,
such a difficult thing to learn.
yeah,
I
for
definitely have like people pleasing tendencies, and I want to help everyone. At the second that they ask me, it was difficult to figure out how to stop myself, because they don't really expect the answer right this
mhm,
second. It's just a
mhm.
habit that we probably developed somewhere in the childhood, and if we want to figure out if it still serves us or not, we have to test it and give it a few tries, see what feels good.
Yes, so I think we mentioned an excellent point, and I wanted to share a story of my friend. So I was sitting with my friend, we were having lunch, and she was telling to me, Amy, I feel like I'm not living my own life, and I'm like so influenced by what other people think, and what my parents say, and what my boyfriend says, and what my friends say. And I'm like, okay, so how does this like show in your life? Can you be more specific? And she says, yeah, like every weekend I go to my parents and I help them. And I feel like obliged. I have to go there and help them. But I would like to spend my weekends in a different, doing something different. But I go there, I help them, and they always criticize my life, how I live, my decisions. They always like give me all their advices that I don't want to hear. And I'm still doing it because I feel obliged to help them because they are, over 60. They cannot do all the things around their house. And yeah, and I was like, okay, but look, like if you keep helping them, they are not forced to find another solution for their problem. If they there's two ways, like either they don't even have a problem and she just feels obliged to help them, but they don't really require her to help them, or if they really do have a problem with their house or taking care of it, they might want to find some other help, like a professional helper or like a person who will take care of their house, and they won't be able to do it if she keeps going there and helping them, and she's doing it against her will. She doesn't like it. She wants to do something different. So she feels this resistance towards her parents. Then she is not like even this resistance creates like her not being so nice, for example, at them, and they fight, and then like this is going nowhere.
Hmm.
uh, so she really needs to feel like how much she wants to give them out of her desire, but she really needs to like prioritize what she really wants. If she wants to do something different, she should start doing it and not like helping her parents out of obligation. This is what I
Yeah,
think.
I have a very strong opinion on this. We are not really helping people by helping them too much. We are making them almost incapable. And
Yeah,
if
yes. Oh my God, we are taking their responsibility for their own
yes,
life and making them weak
yes,
by this.
especially if they are grown-ups. If they are kids, of course, you help kids. That's another story. But if they are a grown-up person, they are responsible for their own life, for their own feelings, for their own well-being, as well as you are for your own life, for your own well-being and happiness. So we feel that helping others is making us a good person and we are helping them. But in these cases where it's, I would say, like too much, it's not really helping them. And it's actually very selfish not to, it's hurting them. So, well, like, what gives you the power to hurt them? Like, give them their own life back and take care of your life first. And I'm sorry to be mean to your friend, but I speak from experience, and it's also it's difficult in the beginning to realize that you are hurting them and take responsibility for that and do the thing that is good for all of you, which is help less and help
more to yourself.
Yes, focus on yourself, because I feel in my case it was a total procrastination of my own problems. I would help other people as a form of procrastinating from my own issues. I would take it as a excuse not to focus on myself and my own life, and then I would blame the other person, which is completely backwards, because it's no fault of their own, and I don't know, it's all backwards, and people will hate me for even saying this. But if you help too much, you are not.
No, I think the word.
I think so too. Yeah. If you are helping too much, you are actually not helping. Not anyone. Not yourself. Not them. You are making them incapable and irresponsible. So who are you to do that? Who are you to do that?
Oh my God. And I feel like, yes, who are you to do and like to make them weak? And
they are adults.
The procrastination point.
Adults. Yeah. And that also.
Yeah. And the procrastination point, like, sure. How many of our listeners, like, really be honest with yourself?
Being honest.
Do you tend to help others as a procrastination, like from solving a problem in your life, or like looking at the thing that you've always wanted to do but you were scared to do, or you didn't feel ready to do? That's such a huge point, and I feel like I tend to do it.
I think we all,
and I feel like many.
We all tend to do it in some different levels, and I feel it's just another way of. You had a very nice point there. Procrastinating in a way because you are scared to follow your biggest dreams, because it's normal to be scared, especially if the dreams are big. You almost feel like, who am I to even dream that big? And you find all the excuses on the world why not to follow your dreams. And of course, the easiest excuse in the world is like, I should be helping other people, because it's a very honorable excuse.
Yes.
But it's it's a bullshit excuse. It's a bullshit excuse.
Yeah, it is.
And
stop helping others and help yourself, and don't play victim.
Yes.
Sorry, but
sorry, definitely. You get to help world so much more when you are true to yourself, when you follow your highest inspiration, your highest dreams, highest desires. You change people's lives by inspiration and by giving them an example and modeling the things they can reach, because we are all the same. There is no like better person, smarter person, more clever person. No, there is a person who is more true to themselves, and the people that are not there yet. And if I just have a feeling like if anyone can do something, the other person can do it too. But if they want to do it and they didn't reach it yet, it's because they stopped themselves still. And helping others, it's like a form of procrastination as well. So.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Oh my God. You should write it somewhere, like
Amen.
on your wall or something.
Definitely. I keep realizing this so often in my life, and that's when I'm really present and really checking with myself. Where is it where I'm actually helping the person, and where is it that I'm taking responsibility out of their hand? And if it's the case of like taking the responsibility from them, even sometimes they don't even ask directly, and you feel you should do something for them, but it's your feeling, it's not their feeling. They didn't ask for it yet. So those are the examples where it's like more beneficial to check yourself. It's like, are you taking their own responsibility, or are you actually helping them?
Yeah, like do you have the tendency to save others before they even ask for being saved? Maybe they don't want. They just need to like complain, like ventilate it out, you know. And you are just like coming to the situation and saying, oh, maybe I can do this for you, and I can meet you here, I can do this. And then you realize, oh fuck, I promised something I cannot, like, you know, hold to, and I shouldn't have said that. And then you feel resistance towards the person that you have to do it, but you offered it in the first place. So it's like,
it's a
where
vicious
are
circle.
You saving the person?
It's a vicious circle. Yeah.
So the step one is like step back and like don't offer your help. Don't go to the explanation mode. Like you don't have to explain. You can like step back from the situation, take your time to think about it, and then come back and you know. But you don't have to save anyone. Like you can just even like if you are just the mirror, maybe they will realize I need to find a help. If you still say no, like I'm unavailable, maybe you will help them realize, okay, I need to find a professional help. This is not working anymore. Like this is really not working. Like these people are not here to help me. I need to find someone who is like specified for this profession that I need help in or something.
Yeah, and that person will probably help them see that they are strong enough to do the things they want to do. It's like
exactly.
It's like a two-way street, you know. You help them too much and they get used to it, so they then ask you more. Then you help them too much, and then you guys resent each other. So it's difficult to break this pattern.
You make them feel weak.
You make them feel.
They feel like they cannot do it by themselves. They are used to asking for help. Then they feel sad that no one is helping them, but they have the power within to do it themselves. But you are taking this power away from them by doing it for them.
Definitely. Oh my gosh, such a good point.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love that we started with such a good topic. And yeah, Niki, this brings me to what is self-love to you? Like, what does self-love mean? I think by what we've just said, self-love in a huge thing is like a taking responsibility for your life and for where you are. Self-love is just like taking the responsibility, not being the victim anymore. What else is self-love to you?
Yes, I feel that self-love for me, in like a broader sense, it's to start being kinder and see where you are and get to know yourself, and don't judge yourself for the things you cannot do yet, but you are on your way to learn. Yeah, I almost want to say self-love is being kind to yourself, because when you start to be kind to yourself, you accept your mistakes as there are, because every human makes mistakes. You accept the things you cannot do yet, and you only see them for what they are now. It's not the end of the world that you don't know yet something, that you don't know how to set boundary yet, that you don't know how to say no yet. It just means that it's something that you can learn time by time, slowly, step by step, right? Yeah, I feel my answer is self-love is being kind to yourself. And then there are self-love practices, but in essence, just be kinder to yourself. How is it for you? What is self-love for you?
Like honestly, with years of like studying what is self-love and testing and everything, I feel like first when we tend to be really hard on ourselves, it's learning how to accept ourselves even with our mistakes, even with like things that we don't like that we are doing, even with the flaws, even with the mistakes, even with the things that we perceive as we are wrong at. Accepting that and loving ourselves anyway, loving ourselves like unconditionally, looking at us like as if we were our own child. So I sometimes imagine I am my own parent and I talk to the little Annie or Aneshka and I tell her like, yeah, it's okay, you are learning, it's okay to make mistakes, I love you anyway, even though you know, I feel like I fucked up, then it's okay, like we will learn, we will get there, no worries. So this is like one huge part of self-love, like yeah, trying to progress, but loving yourself even in the lows. And no matter what happens, you love yourself. No matter, I feel like if the whole world tells me no, I will still tell myself yes, and I will still love myself. And it was hard for me to get into this point, but it's like constant daily shifting. when someone tells you no, when someone makes you, when you feel guilty, when someone rejects you, still coming back to the I love myself anyway. Like, I love myself no matter what will happen. I will
Yeah.
love myself, and I will keep loving myself and
Oh my
choosing
gosh, you
myself.
said it so nicely.
So
Yeah.
yeah, this is such a big thing, like this unconditional self love, and building it by daily habits, and like just recognizing when we are thinking harmfully towards ourselves, and kind of shifting these little thoughts into something more self loving. And a great exercise how to do that: imagine that you are talking to your own child. Would you tell him that he fucked up when he tried so hard? Like, would you? No, you would tell him like, yeah, you did well. Keep learning. You will get there. No worries. You would motivate him. You would not be mean to
Yeah.
him. You know. So imagine this and look at yourself with the eyes of your own parent, a loving
For
parent.
sure. What else helps me? It's because you mentioned a sentence, and I remember there is a saying: if they cannot love you in your lowest low, they don't deserve you in your highest high, right? But what if you turn it into
Yeah.
yourself? Like the true self love is if you
Yeah.
learn how to love yourself in your lowest low as well as the highest high. Because I feel that we expect from other people to give us something that we don't yet know how to give ourselves. And that is quite unfair. And of course, some people can do that for you, but unless you learn how to do it for yourself, you almost cannot appreciate it because you don't know. Yeah, you don't know how it really feels. And again, self
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
Be patient with yourself in learning how to love yourself more and more, and step by step.
Mm-hmm. It's a
Yeah, it's a
lifelong
lifelong
process,
process,
by the
and
way.
it takes some
Yeah.
time. And you are on your way, and appreciate where you are on the way. And if you want to compare yourself with anyone, compare yourself with the you that you were yesterday, not with like other people. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that would be my 2 cents for this as well.
Absolutely. Okay, I also want to mention one example from my client. So she came to our health coaching. We are working on weight loss. And she said, I thought self love is that I allow myself to have chocolate every day. And I was like, interesting point.
So sweet.
Well, what are your goals? She said, I want to lose weight. I was like, okay, maybe more self loving action would be something that doesn't make you gain weight, you know? So, like, yes, self love is allowing ourselves, being kind to ourselves, but also honoring where we are going, honoring our goals and following them. And if that means being a little bit more hard on yourself when you are, for example, creating new routine, or when you want to lose weight, you need to be kind of, you need to change your lifestyle for 3 months at least to lose the weight, and you need to start eating differently. It will take effort. So it self love in this case means being more disciplined out of self love towards yourself, because you are doing it for your
Mm-hmm.
own body. You The body will benefit out of it, and it's self loving. It's helping you. It's creating a healthier habit. So I want you to think, not to think about self love as, oh, I will allow myself to have this chocolate, and I will allow myself, to not exercise for 1 week. I mean, yes, honor your body's knowing, and when you need to rest, honor your rest. But at the same time, when you will be building your habit, it will be harder in the beginning, and you will need to push a little bit more. So yeah, be mindful
For
of
sure,
this.
for sure.
So self love sometimes can be a self discipline as well. When you're starting to be consistent, new habit, you have to do it, for example, once in a week, every week. As when we started our podcast, like there were weeks when I really didn't want to do it, and I wanted to text Nikki and say, Nikki, I don't want to do, I don't want to post an episode
Yeah.
today. But once I pushed myself, and now I'm so happy that
Mm-hmm.
I did, and you will not regret these efforts towards your dreams and things that you want to do. And this is a
Yes, and
self
I
love.
have an amazing reframe for when something feels like you don't want to do it. Um, when I feel that way, I try to say to myself, all right, but if I would be the best version of myself already, would I be bothered by this that I'm bothered yet? Like, many, many times when I'm editing these episodes, I'm like, what the hell did I just say? What a strange voice I just made. And honestly, I like, if I would be like minding too much, zero of our episodes would go out, because I feel like whatever Annie says is super perfect, but whatever I say is like, what did she say? And I know, the inner critic, right? But I learned how to not to listen to it, and I know to ask the question.
Oh my god.
That, like, if I would be already my best self, would I be even bothered by this, or would I just choose to believe that whatever I say, it's meant for someone. Somebody needs to hear it the way I just said it. Somebody needs to hear my crazy laugh, whatever. So I almost, like, the self-love in there is to honor that, okay, now it's not perfect, but I know where I'm going, so it's still good enough, and I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna release it to the world, and it's gonna change somebody's life anyway. So try to see it from the eyes of your future self, and you will see
Absolutely.
how it feels.
Oh, what a great explanation. And I say, like, where are you stopping yourself? Stopping yourself is not very self-loving, because you want to achieve your dreams, and you will, for example, suck in the beginning when you're doing this thing, and you cannot judge yourself by, oh, this is so bad, like this video, I don't like me talking on this video. Just post it anyway, because like you don't want to stop yourself by not. Because if you keep some consistency and routine, you will get better, you will get better, you will get better. And in order to get better, you need to suck at it at the first time. So
Definitely.
Don't stop yourself. The self-loving thing here is keep going, keep practicing. You will get better. No worries. Self-love in here is go for it, even though you feel like you suck. Don't listen to the inner critic. He's not helping you. You just need to move forward and not to get stopped.
Basically. Practice makes perfect, and it's actually not about the perfection, but like practice is about doing it, and doing it the more and more consistently, and that's how it becomes habit, and that's how you reach your best life anyway. It's not the huge steps that you do 3 times a year, it's the small steps that you do every day a year. So, and slowly, baby steps.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I love the comparison. As you said, like, imagine your higher self. How would she feel about it? She would be like, I don't give a shit. Like, I will do it anyway, because like I'm going there. I'm going for my big dreams, and I want to achieve them no matter what. And I don't care. I'm not letting anyone stop me. I'm not letting myself stop me. I'm not letting my low thinking stop me. And our thoughts are not even ours. Come on, like, everyone has fears, but the successful people, they just do it anyway.
Yeah, I would say differently. It's like the thoughts are ours, but we don't have to believe them just because they are ours and produced by our mind. Like, this is the first. Like, just because your mind produced a thought doesn't mean you have to believe it. You can choose another thought. And second, what was I? Yes, because I think it's today that I posted like a very profound something on Facebook about attaching meaning. We are the ones to attach the meaning to any action we do or not do. So if I see my trying and making mistakes and showing up anyway, again, as a way to the goal, I'm gonna be much more motivated to do it and keep doing it and practicing and doing better the next time and just do it and show up. If I see every mistake of mine as evidence of how much I suck, where would I be? Not doing anything, crying into the pillow all day. Which sometimes we need days like that, but it doesn't have to be every day of our lives, right? So.
Yeah, and like building the habit is much more important than creating a perfect post. Like getting into the habit, like in the future you will get perfect, but like if you put so many emphasis on like creating the perfect post, otherwise you attach meaning to it that you suck, then this is not helpful at all.
For sure. Yeah.
Sorry, I jumped into your thought pattern. Did you want to say something else about this?
Well, there was something, but it's out of my head anyway. No problem. Let's come back to the topic.
Yeah.
Is self-love really selfish? What would you say? Like, how would you frame this? How would you say it now for you? How do you feel about the self-love in terms of selfishness now that you are in like certain level of self-development or self-discovery? How do you view it now, and what did you think about it before, if you remember?
What a great question. Now I feel like self-love is mandatory. and is the best thing you can do for everyone else and for yourself. Because like if you're your highest high, your happiest self, then the people will get the energy from you and you will inspire them to do the same, and they will be interested, how did you do it? And then yeah, it just but a few years ago I just felt like I need to help everyone, and this comes very strongly from my childhood. And like, I mean, not only my childhood, but um, I was a Christian, and we went to the church, and I heard all the time. I remember this experience. Like I heard all the time that I'm a bad girl if I don't make others happy, and I feel to this very strongly. Like I felt a strong sense of guilt when I said no to someone, when I didn't want to smile, and I didn't feel like smiling, and you know, like when I was a kid, everyone was like, Anishka, smile. Anishka, go to sing to those seniors, and Anishka, make all these people happy. And I felt like I need to be such a good girl to make everyone happy. And if I don't, then I suck as a human and I fail. And this was like very subconsciously rooted. And sometimes it is, still, I still have this tendency to help others, but I very intentionally come back to the truth for myself, which is like I need to prioritize myself, and I can say no, and I can make boundaries, and it's safe to make boundaries. And safe, this word, like I felt it's not safe to say no to others, because I felt like there's gonna be some punishment coming out of that, and I would like hold myself back from receiving when I said no to others, because I felt like I don't deserve to receive once I don't help others and prioritize the well-being of others.
I want to say something. I wish, of course, the religious groups or our parents, they come from a good place. They want to teach us good manners. But I wish the people just realize how big of a responsibility that is to a child. How do you even ask such a small human being to make everybody else happy? Like, can you make everybody else happy as an adult? No. How can you ask that responsibility from a small child? So, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Everyone, I feel, goes through it to some level. Some people more, some people less. But I just want every kid in ourselves that still feels like they are responsible for some other people's happiness to realize that's a responsibility of not your own. You are only responsible for making yourself happy, because you probably know that nobody else can make you happy unless you make yourself happy. So it's kind of, again, about taking on the responsibility that is not yours if you feel like you should be helping others or making them happy. It's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking care of yourself, self-care, self-love.
I want to maybe sorry, just like one small point, because whenever I say this in a conversation, the other people kind of point out like, yes, but then I would be hurting people. But why would you go from making someone happy to like hurting people? Like, there is some middle ground. You are just focusing on making yourself happy. That doesn't mean you are hurting people. It may be perceived that way if they weren't used to, for you to say no to them at some point. But again, it's the responsibility. They will get used to it, and they will see how much better it is for them, because you are giving them chance to make themselves happy, which is the only true happiness there is.
Yes.
No one else can make you happy than yourself.
And they need to learn that for themselves. And if they rely on you to make them happy, then there's something wrong with their thinking, and maybe you are mirroring that. Okay, now I'm not making you happy. You need to make yourself happy, which is good for them, because once they learned it, they become happy.
And if everybody is happy,
you know what
everybody's happy, right? They're truly happy.
Yeah. I feel like the most important thing here is your intention. Yes. Like, there will be people who will feel hurt by something you do, or who will feel hurt by some circumstances that happen, and you were involved in them, for example. But if your intention is pure, if your behavior is out of love, if you don't intentionally go and hurt these people, but you are doing it
absolutely
aligned with yourself, and you're just voicing your needs, then this is not nothing wrong, and
Yeah.
you shouldn't be shamed by that, because you cannot avoid that no one will get hurt. Like, we are on this physical world, we have all kinds
Feelings.
of emotions, we
Yeah.
get sad, and just don't observe it as you hurting them, because like this is just unavoidable in this life, like people get
Mm.
sad. And it's not because of you. And you just, if you have good intentions, if you like don't go to hurt them intentionally, then like no
Yeah.
worries. You are not doing anything
And
wrong.
I feel like something is coming up maybe for the people who needs to hear it. We all know people who will make themselves angry at you and hurt by you without your any action. Like, it's just their go-to pattern, and it's good
Yeah,
to just accept.
they just want to blame others.
Yeah, it's just good to accept that they are like this, and you are you, and you are still a good person. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's come another thought. Like, I've sometimes in my childhood I felt guilty for like being such a positive person, and I felt like, oh, but I'm so positive, my life is so easy because I always see the positive in the negative. And others, they're poor others, they have this negative thinking and they are victims, and I need to like show them how to live, and I felt like responsible for
Mm-hmm.
them. And yeah, I want to say again, like, you
Yeah.
are not responsible for the fuck ups of others and for the thinking of others, and you don't have to show them to how to think and how to
Yeah.
live. Let them live their own lives and live your best life. Like, don't take the responsibility for their life.
What is coming up now when you said this? It's even for myself. I had to be ready for the next step in my own happiness. Because sometimes you cannot even see. You are not even on the level to see how what people mean when they say, "Oh, make yourself happy." So I wasn't there always, and I had to get there to realize it is really true. You can only make yourself happy. So if somebody is not there yet, um, I don't think it's your or my mission to make them see it. I feel that your or my mission is just to be ourselves, be our best selves, and if we one day
Mm-hmm.
inspire them, if they want to see it this way, they will. If they never want to see it this way, it's okay. It's their life. They have complete freedom to choose whatever their life is wants to look like, whatever they want their life to look like. So why would you?
Yeah.
What gives you the right to mess in other people's lives, basically? Like, you are the boss of your own life, but why do you want to boss other people's lives? Why do you make so many rules for it starts with yourself, you make the rules for yourself, but then you view your rules as the only rules how to live their life, and that is simply not fair. We all create
Mm-hmm.
rules for ourselves,
Yeah.
but they just apply for ourselves, not for anybody else. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. A great point. No, a great point, because like sometimes we feel like our way of
Yeah.
living is the best and only one, and like we are the most positive. I mean, I feel I really honestly think that my way of living is the best, but it's the best
Yeah.
for me and my life and my perception. And for other people, it can be different, and they like to be more complaining, and it's good. It works for them because like they get their
Hmm.
emotions out, and this way of living works for them. And who am I to judge their way
Yeah.
of living? Like, I'm here.
This is
Yeah,
what
go
I
ahead.
feel that even you and me as well try to say, that we all have to figure ourselves first, figure
Yeah.
out how we work best, how we feel best, what is best for us, what we even want to do, what we even want to achieve, and then focus on that. And then there is almost no room to bother or like dwell on other people's lives, because
To include
yeah, I mean,
anyone.
not to include, like, of course
Yeah.
we are like, we have relationships, and there are people around us, and there can be communities, friends, and families. It's not that we will end up alone if we focus on ourselves, but my it's not my business to judge other people. And coming from a very judgy person, that's a huge thing. I used to be so judgy, but first of all, I would be judging myself. And when I finally learned, like, okay, maybe I'm being too judgy for myself, then I stopped being judgy for other people. And guess what? My life is just so much better. And yeah, people have their own rules for their life, and they are okay. And I would say, like,
Yeah.
we just, our responsibility is just to make rules for our life work for us, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And this is why you are listening to the podcast,
On her
which is
own
called
terms.
On Her Own Terms.
Yes.
5 seconds of a commercial. Our podcast of On Her Own Terms, how to get happy and alive. You first need to discover what
Yes.
works for you. You are on your way to your own self-development.
Yeah, self-discovery, self-development.
No, self-discovery,
Both.
self-discovery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a great point,
Yeah,
Jenny.
The end of the commercial. Thank you for listening, guys. Please share with your friends and families who can benefit out of this podcast and want to create their own rules for their own life. Thank you.
What a best point.
We really appreciate it.
We do. And we truly believe.
Sorry for the commercial.
Sorry, not sorry. It's true.
No more advertisements. Yeah, but it's true.
Oh, this is so much fun. I love it.
Do you know the horse food?
What is that?
The guy, horse
Probably
food.
not.
That's a guy here in Czech Republic. He's like, he has a TV show and he's like showing like pots, you know, this is a teapot, look how it's cooking, this is a mixer, look how it's mixing, and it's like so interesting to watch. Like I used to watch it for like 1 hour.
That's
you know,
amazing.
like him cutting the vegetables with like these perfect knives. I need to learn doing commercials like him.
You are doing very well, in my opinion. I love the commercial.
Thank you.
Just 5 seconds ago.
Okay, I will try next
it's
time once
amazing.
more. Yeah, okay. Back to our topic. Anything else that you feel that needs to be said for our listeners?
Maybe just repeat what I said in the beginning. When you are learning how to love yourself more and when you are learning who you are, it can feel that you are being selfish. But if you keep continuing this journey, if you keep practicing, if you don't give up on yourself, if you keep choosing yourself, you will realize it's not selfish at all. It's actually the only thing that can help others. If that's your goal, to help others, you are gonna elevate them with you. But nobody ever helped the sick people by getting more sick. Nobody ever helped the poor people by getting more poor. So, like, the more you are yourself, you are happy with yourself, the more you can inspire other people to do the same. You cannot help other people to get happy if you keep yourself in depression or like not happy, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. Take the responsibility. And you say this very often, like keep choosing you and like trust your intuition by like trusting more your intuition, doing something intuitively. You feel like it's right, but your mind is telling you the reasons why it's wrong and why you should feel shameful for this decision. And but if you keep doing it, your intuition gets stronger, and then you will be so strongly guided. Your inner guidance will be so strong, and you will rely on it much more. You will create more self-trust, and you will have this like amazing roadmap, you know, that is always with you, like compass that is telling you what to do. And just keep choosing that. The feelings of shame or like that something is wrong will fade off with time, with practice. This is a practice. So even if it's hard for the first time, it's okay. It will get easier.
Yeah, it will get easier and better and happier.
Yeah.
And much better and much happier.
Yeah. And never feel bad for choosing you. Like self-love is not selfish, honestly. Like if you need to take a rest and say no to a boss that you will not go to the work, it's okay. If you like have to apologize to a friend, you have to cancel your meetings, if you have to, I don't know, whatever you need to do it and choose you. And you know, there will be another opportunity for you to make it up to them, for example, or you know, yeah, just really listen to your intuition and to your inner guidance, because it knows.
It knows. And if you feel it's hard, and if you feel that you are kind of there alone, or it's something that almost the feeling of who am I to do this, just keep saying to yourself, you are modeling this behavior for the people that silently observe you. That might be your cousins, your younger sister, your whoever from your family and friend circle. And they kind of count on you, not count on you, but like you don't even know who you are helping by practicing the choosing you. Yeah,
By
by
doing something
modeling it for
differently.
them.
Yeah.
And those people, you can change people's lives like this. So if it feels hard, just
Yeah,
maybe
absolutely.
repeat this to yourself. I'm modeling this for someone as well, and it's
Even
helping them as well.
yeah, even like if everyone around you is doing it the wrong way or something that doesn't feel right, that's so good that you feel differently and you start doing it differently, because maybe they will see it and they will be like, oh, she stand for herself and said, no, wow, maybe I can do it too. Well, that's so
Precisely.
inspiring. And maybe then they start doing it too, their friends start doing it too, and then you change this wrong, like unfunctional pattern that is in our society by doing something differently. That's wonderful.
And if you are starting a movement, figure out yourself. Discover yourself movement.
Episode 13. It's only episode 13. Imagine where like episode 100 we will be at.
Oh,
Oprah.
yes. Can't wait. Oh,
yeah. Don't forget about your self-care. So I know this may be hard to stand for yourself first and not to feel this selfish. If you need, hire a help, hire a coach, hire someone who can help you to hold you accountable through this journey and really be here for you when you are relearning the thinking. Also, as we always mention in our episodes, like self-care practices, mindset practices tremendously help. If new affirmations help you, or journaling about how you feel. For example, you say no to a person, you feel shit. You take your journal, you write out your feelings, then you come back to the truth, which is I stand for myself, I honored my needs, which is good. And if journaling helps you come back to this belief, then do a journaling. Which self-care activity helps you? Like self-care is so important in like reprogramming our mindset and going to more self-love. And like hiring help also can help tremendously. If someone is already where you want to be, this person can take you there much faster than you would go by yourself.
Definitely. And also repetition is the queen of success. It's hard in the beginning to believe something if you don't repeat it to yourself time and time again. But whatever practice you are learning, gather the sources that help you remind you of that message. Listen to the podcast all over again. Listen to the same times of the podcast just to have the message still in your head, and it will get much more faster into your own system, and it's going to help you to be in the new belief so much more faster and easier.
Absolutely. Like I listen to affirmations for wealth and success every day for 30 minutes now. And like I journal every day. I write 5 things I am grateful for, 5 things I did well, and 5 things money come to my life every day now. Every day. And like I can see such a big difference because like I do it consistently.
Yeah.
And it keeps me in a good mindset each day. It's so helpful. Yeah, so surround yourself with the new way of thinking, however you can and however it's like feels good to you. Whether like printing out photos with reminders or printing out affirmations, quotes. I'm good enough. I am, it's okay to trust myself. Whatever, doing vision board, writing affirmations, printing them out, and like putting them again on the wall or
setting up reminders in your phone.
Making a recording.
Setting up reminders on your phone.
Setting reminders.
Pop out in a certain time every day. Yeah.
Yeah. Or listening to our podcast, or like listening to a motivational speaker on YouTube that keeps you in that energy, or like following Instagram profile that shares the knowing that you want to incorporate, put into your brain, like incorporate.
Talking about social,
self-love is not selfish.
Talking about social media. Where can people find you, Annie?
Yes. I'm the most active on Instagram at the moment. My handle is Annie.Hladikova. You can find the spelling in the show notes of this podcast or of this video. And I also have a website, anniehladikova.com. And I am sometimes active on my Facebook page, which is Happy, Healthy, and Powerful with Annie. So please go and find me there for more goodies. And Niki, where can people find you?
My social media handle is Hey, this is Niki. And the most active in my Facebook group, Life on Your Own Terms. And the way people can work with me now is to jump on my Roadmap to Your Best Life discovery calls. If you want to figure out your best life, you are very welcome to do that. And I think we have my Calendly link in the show notes as well, right?
Yes.
Yes.
We will have.
Perfect,
We have.
perfect.
Already, because you're already listening, so it's there.
Yes.
Okay, Nikki, and when can I jump on the call, because I'm so excited to figure out and
I'm gonna send you the link.
Think about my desires. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
To really define my desires and goals once more, because this is such a good thing to do, like regularly, each year or each half a year or each month also.
I'm gonna send you the link.
Yay.
Very happy you jump on the call.
Yeah. Thank you so much for this episode. This was so wonderful. I hope our listeners loved it as much as I did.
I think this is gonna be my favorite for a long time.
Me too. I feel like
it might be very, very triggering.
Yeah.
But very helpful, I feel.
Yeah.
So let's hope.
Helpful. Very healing and very eye-opening, in my opinion.
Me too.
Yeah.
So
thank you so much
for the next one. Yeah.
We cannot wait to see you, not see you, hear you, not hear you. We cannot wait for you to join us.
People interact with us somehow.
Please
find
feel
us
free
on social
to
media.
Send us a message. We would love to hear from you, or how our episodes change something in your life or your thinking. And yeah, we would love to connect with you as well. So have a great day. Thank you so much once more, and see you next time.
See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.